Well, I want to let you know that when I was a child, I was not allowed to sign, even though I could not hear. And as I grew up, uh, I had a deaf brother, and cousins who also were deaf, but we were not allowed to sign as well. We were forced to be in an oral only educational philosophy, which frankly sucked. So I learned fingerspelling when I was 12. And I was allowed to at least fingerspell, but I was not allowed to sign at home at all. And when I went to the deaf school, again, there was no signing allowed. So I really didn't understand what deaf culture meant. When I was in high school, I went to mainstream high school with no interpreter, and I honestly was so lost. I didn't understand what it meant to have an interpreter. I basically was expected to learn my education through writing notes back and forth, and I didn't learn anything. So I did have somebody come who, a visiting professor who was encouraging me to go to OSD, but my parents would not allow it. And, I was married to someone who knew a little bit of sign. And as I grew up, I started to meet a couple of deaf people. And in 2007, I joined a dragon boat team where, we competitively rowed, and there were team members that were all deaf. And that was the first time I was maybe introduced to the idea of a deaf culture and a deaf identity. And that's when I really started learning how to sign. And that became so important to me. And being able to get involved in some of the other groups, DNO, what were some of the other organizations? Just quite a few deaf organizations. I had a women's only group that I went to, and that we would go, we'd play cards, we'd do service stuff. And that's where I learned about my culture and my identity.